Hello. I'm going to read a short story from Reddit. This one might twist your mind. I hope you enjoy. I'm a professional moorioner. My last job has been strange. I've been in this business a long time. You'd be surprised how important devastation is to people who are already grieving. A lot of my clientele are family members of the departed, spouses, parents, brothers or sisters, never friends though. That's the thing, when I get hired, it's usually because the people who hire me are afraid that no one's gonna show up. No one wants to see empty seats at a funeral. If they can't fill the seats, they can at least have someone there, sobbing quietly in the back, crying loudly over the casket. Sometimes all it takes is a few sniffles. I'm not an expert on psychology. I don't know why these people are so comforted by my presence. They know I'm being paid. They know that it's fake. I guess grief just pulls the wool over your eyes a bit. It takes a toll emotionally. Once you've done it for long enough, it's hard to decipher what's real and what's fake. You don't know if you're crying out of obligation or if you're genuinely grieving. It's weird how it works. I can say that I've seen hundreds of bodies. My bills get paid off of this. After a while, everyone starts to look the same. Same woman, same man, same tears. That confused me every time they well up in my eyes. Like I said, it's weird how it works, because no matter how much I try to convince myself that these people really were nothing more to me than a paycheck, I can't seem to stop recognizing their faces. My last job has been a bit strange. I don't remember getting calls. I don't remember getting paid. I don't even remember how I ended up in the funeral home. What I do remember, however, is that for the first time in my career, the casket was closed. I watched on from the back, feeling a kind of mental fog as the family of the deceased sobbed over the casket with their backs towards me. Instinct kicked in and I tried forcing tears out of my eyes to no avail. I squeezed them tight, so tight that it hurt, but they remained dry. The sobs from the family grew louder and louder. They sounded like they were coming from every direction. It was the kind of noise that sounded like it was both in your head and grounded in reality at the same time. That's when I noticed her. The first woman I had ever been hired to cry for. She looked exactly how she did in her casket, from the white dress and red lipstick, all the way to the golden necklace that wrapped around her neck and rested in her bosom. Her head was cocked back over her right shoulder, and she stared at me with tear-filled eyes, mascara running down her cheeks and dripping from her chin. She had an impossible frown on her face, like two invisible weights dangled from each corner of her mouth, and though that mouth didn't move, wails exploded from her vocal cords. I shut my eyes tight, and when I opened them, the woman was now standing with the family of the deceased. The family still had their backs towards me, and their shoulders jumped up and down like a dance as they sobbed over the casket. The woman, however, continued to stare at me, tears still falling down her face and dropping from her unnatural frown. I stood from my spot in the pew and slowly began walking towards the casket. With each step, a new seat would be filled with the people I have cried over through the years. Women, men, children, murderers, and addicts. All with the same expression as the first woman. The windows in the funeral home rattled with the sounds of their wails and ear-splitting sobs, but the room still felt silent. As I approached the coffin, the family stopped crying and their shoulders stopped dancing. One by one, my mom, dad, and brother turned towards me. I locked eyes with each of them. Their eyes were dry. Their faces were stern. My father opened the lid, gesturing for me to look inside. I knew what I was going to see, but it was like my body was propelled forward against my own volition. I stared down at the body, and for the first time, my tears fell onto my own face. I hope you enjoyed that story. Subscribe to hear more stories like that.